Hey everyone, I thought that I would share a bit on our upcoming workshop, Akoma, which is a self-love spell workshop that we are facilitating on the 11th of March. The link is in our bio for the Eventbrite tickets if you wanted to attend. We have 10 spaces available, but I really just wanted to jump on here and share a little bit more about it, especially for those that maybe are interested and just want some more details or something like that. I guess in my own personal journey with ritual, with spell work, it has been really helpful for me. Not only, I guess, in terms of connecting with ancestors and source and stuff, but just generally connecting with myself and my own being. Self-love in general is something that is super important because it is the foundation of not only how we love ourselves, but how we love others. And all our interactions and connections, I feel, can be based off of the way in which we love ourselves. That determines how we are able to in turn love others, and even not only love others but also connect to our life's path, connect to what it is we desire to do, live, or how we desire to live. And I guess also honing in on self-love and really focusing on self-love helps us connect to just our heart's desires in general. And when we know what our heart's desires are, we know who we are and what we want to see grow in our lives, or what things we want to cultivate. I also feel to say or mention values. When we're connected to self-love, we know what our values are as well. So that's why I guess self-love to me is important. And spell work in itself is just a tool that we use within the physical realm, within Earth, as we're all physical beings, to activate certain energies and intention. I love working, or I love starting off with self-love as an intention, especially within the spell work journey. So for people that potentially are just trying out spell work for the first time, or have felt pulled towards setting intention through ritual and through the practice of spell work, this is a great workshop because it's a great foundation to start with. And this is the foundation that I started with when I started my ritual and spell work journey. So there are so many ways of doing spells, but one of my favorite ways is to build a jar. It really solidifies the intention of our prayers, of what we're trying to cultivate within our life. And I think building a self-love jar is a really great foundational way of starting your self-love practice, or deepening your self-love practice, and also deepening your alchemy, ritual, and spell work, as it's something that you can also take home and continue to work with over time. So I will be talking a lot more about this, obviously, during the workshop, which I'm excited for. And I think I wanted to share a little bit more on the intention of building a self-love jar. And I guess in general, it is to help with, it's to help with confidence. It's to help with our creativity. It's to help with the way in which we nurture ourselves. It's also to help with even decision making. So if we're potentially at a crossroads when it comes to something within ourselves, our creativity, our self-expression, our confidence, it can really be a tool that we can use daily or during the week, or however much we are working with this, to create communication with self. And I also love it because spell work is a way of combining the spiritual with the physical. A lot of people think that when we mention the spiritual aspects of things that it's airy-fairy and floaty and not very grounded, but within Indigenous practice, particularly within African spiritual systems and practices, everything is very physical. There's always a physical action to represent the spiritual. And so this is kind of a way of bringing our spiritual or even emotional intention into the physical realm. Yeah, and I think putting ourselves or pouring ourselves into self-love ritual or self-love spell work is a really active way for us to be a part of changing our narrative and really changing the way in which we build intimacy with ourselves. And I feel like this can also help with resting the mind as well when it comes to the ways in which we are operating. You know, the one thing I love about prayer and the one thing I love about ritual and spell work is that once you've done it, it's done. And you can kind of rest your mind because you've done the action, if that makes sense. So yeah, this whole workshop is just going to be a beautiful space where we can come together and learn a new practice, where we can share in self-love together, because I also think that that's a really, really important lesson within community is to be able to practice self-love to the fullest extent without others being intimidated by it, and learning that we can actually practice self-love in its fullest together, because I don't know, Western society is very individualistic, and so with these spaces, I guess I aim to create a environment where we can practice these things together and build on these things together. Is there anything else that I want to say about this workshop? Everyone is welcome. This is also a queer-friendly space as well, so if you are coming, please take note of that, to be respectful of everyone else's energy. It's on March the 11th at 1 p.m. Everything will be provided to you, so all the resources that you need to build this jar will be provided to you. So the only thing that you need to bring is a journal and a pen. I thought that I would show you my personal jar that I've had for a few years. This isn't my only jar, but this is one of my self-love jars. As you can see, there's a candle that has been burnt over it, so we'll get into that as well and during the workshop. But yeah, this is what the actual physical jar looks like, full of lots of goodies and intention. So yeah, this is pretty much what we will be making during this workshop. Yes, and as usual for my offerings and services, split payment is available, or like paying in part is available as well. So if you're needing to do that, please feel free to email me to set up a payment plan if that's easier for you. But yeah, the link to this workshop is in our bio as usual. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, because I'm happy to answer them. And yeah, that's all for now, and I hope to see some of you there. Talk soon.